Welcome to Myth Sleep Stories. Tonight, as you close your eyes and let the noise of the world fall away, you will travel to the silent heights of Asgard, to the edge of the heavens, where a single guardian stands eternal watch. Take a slow breath. Feel the air fill your chest. Then release it gently. Every sound, every thought, every worry fades as your body becomes still. You are safe here. You are in the space between night and morning, between dream and eternity, where Heimdall, the watchman of the gods, keeps vigil. The air around you is cold, but not harsh. God, it hums with quiet power, like the calm before dawn. Somewhere in the distance, you hear the faint song of the Bifrost, the rainbow bridge that connects the mortal and divine worlds. Its colors shimmer against the endless night, red, gold, green, blue, each hue a vibration, a frequency, a note in the great music of the cosmos. And at the very end of that bridge stands Heimdall, the one who never sleeps, one who hears the grass grow and the clouds move, the one who guards Asgard from all who would bring chaos. He stands tall, silent, wrapped in a cloak of silver frost. His armor glows faintly under the aurora that dances across the horizon. His eyes are golden, glowing not with fire, but with the steady calm of awareness. Eyes that have seen the birth of stars and the fading of ages. He does not blink. He does not rest. For Heimdall's purpose is not to fight, but to know. To see before danger comes, to hear before silence breaks, to understand before time arrives. The wind shifts softly around him. The bridge hums under his feet. Each color of the Bifrost is alive. The red of courage, the green of life, the blue of peace, the gold of divinity. Together they form the path that joins all worlds. And Heimdall stands at its heart. Sometimes, in the long stillness between days, he closes his eyes, not in sleep, but in listening. He hears the whisper of every soul across the realms, the cry of a newborn in Midgard, the prayer of a lonely traveler. The rustle of leaves in Elfheim, the sigh of waves in the land of men. Each sound reaches him, and he hears it as if it were only inches away. He breathes, and the bridge brightens. His pulse is the rhythm that keeps the realms in harmony. He knows that his watch is endless, that centuries will come and go like drifting clouds, and still he will remain, silent and awake, but he feels no burden, for to watch is to love, and Heimdall loves the stillness between chaos, loves the silence that holds all things together. The gods of Asgard sometimes visit him. They speak of feasts, of songs, of battles, of destinies fulfilled. He listens with patience, nods with kindness, and says little, for he knows that their voices, too, are part of the sound he guards, each a note in the grand harmony of existence. Odin calls him the Shining One. Freya calls him the calm before dawn. And yet, Heimdall calls himself nothing. He is the watcher, the sound between sounds. When the worlds grow restless, when shadows creep from beyond the edge of the sky, Heimdall senses it first, not with fear, but with quiet knowing. The air thickens. The bridge hums louder. The rhythm of the colors shifts, like a song changing key. He listens deeper. He feels the tremor in the universe, small, distant, but real, and he knows that the cycle turns again. He does not call for help. He does not sound the Jallarhorn, the great horn that will one day awaken gods and men for the final battle. That day is not yet. Now is the time for stillness, for waiting, for watching. He stands alone at the bridge, where the rainbow meets the void. Below him lies the endless sea of stars. Above him, the silence of eternity. And between them, his heart beats once, twice, slow and steady, Every breath he takes becomes part of the Bifrost's glow. Every heartbeat echoes through the 9 realms like a promise. Nothing passes unnoticed. The night deepens. Frost gathers on his armor, glimmering like dusted silver. Far below, in the human world, storms rise and fall. Lives begin and end. But here, all is still. The bridge hums softly. And Heimdall listens. He remembers the day the Bifrost was born, when Odin raised his hand, calling light from the heavens to create the link between worlds. He remembers the first time he stepped onto its shimmering path, feeling the hum of every soul it would one day carry. And he remembers the vow he made, that no threat, no darkness, no silence would ever reach Asgard. Unnoticed. Time has no hold here. Years pass like breaths. Heimdall's eyes never close. And yet, within him, there is peace, the peace of purpose, of knowing one's place in the endless pattern of creation. Sometimes, in the vastness of eternity, he feels the faint pull of fatigue, not of the body, but of the heart. He wonders what it would be like to rest, even for a moment, to let go of awareness, to drift into dream. But the thought fades quickly, for he knows, if he sleeps, the bridge will darken. If he turns away, the sound will falter. And so he breathes again. Deep and slow. The aurora shimmers brighter now, casting waves of blue and gold across the clouds. The air around him hums like a gentle chord, vibrating through the bridge and into the stars. Each color pulses in rhythm. With his heartbeat. It is not noise. It is harmony. It is the music of awareness itself. He hears laughter, echoing faintly, distant. Human. A family, sharing warmth beneath candlelight. He smiles, though they will never know him. Their peace is his reward. He listens until the sound fades, until only the hum remains. And then a new sound emerges, faint, like the whisper of a leaf falling. It is not danger, not warning, but change, the kind that begins as silence and ends as destiny. Heimdall raises his gaze toward the horizon. The stars tremble. The bridge flickers. Something approaches, not from the outside, but from within. A sound he has never heard before. It is faint, beautiful, filled with both sorrow and promise. And though he does not yet understand it, he knows the watch is about to change. He closes his eyes, not in rest, but in focus. The hum of the bridge fills his mind. The colors swirl, merging into white light. And for a moment, all of existence holds its breath. The guardian listens, and the universe listens back. The light of the Bifrost glows softer now, its edges fading into mist. Heimdall remains motionless, his gaze fixed upon the horizon. But inside, a thought stirs. It begins faintly, like the echo of a dream, like the memory of a sound that once existed before time had a name. He wonders, not for the first time, what silence truly means. He has listened to everything, storms, prayers, whispers, even the space between heartbeats. But silence, true silence, it is something else. It is not the absence of sound. It is the voice of everything when all things have been heard. He knows this. He feels it now, deep within the air, in the stillness between light and shadow. Far below, the mortal world turns. He hears it all, the wind rushing through pine forests, waves striking stone shores, fires crackling in the cold of night. He hears dreams. He hears the laughter of children and the quiet sorrow of the old. He hears love being spoken and love being forgotten. And still, he stands. To mortals, his task might seem lonely. But Heimdall does not know loneliness. He is beyond such things. He is the pulse between moments, the breath of the world as it moves from one heartbeat to the next. The aurora overhead begins to fade, its colors blending into soft shades of violet and blue. He breathes in slowly, his armor reflecting faint silver light. He has stood here for ages, since before the first dawn, and he knows he will stand here until the last. Yet time has no meaning for him. Each moment feels like the same still note, held forever in the air. He shifts his focus inward, listening deeper than the surface of the worlds, beyond the hum of the Bifrost, beyond the prayers and the thunder. There, he finds the quiet heart of existence, the rhythm that even gods cannot name. It is the sound that keeps the stars in place, the heartbeat of Yggdrasil itself. He listens, and the sound fills him, like the ocean fills a shell. He remembers the first time he heard it, before he became the Watcher, before he was given the horn and the task of eternity. He was not yet bound to the bridge, not yet burdened by vigilance. He had simply listened, and in the listening, he had understood that silence was divine. That awareness was a form of worship. Now, as he listens again, he feels the faint pulse of that first truth returning. The sound beneath sound, the presence that has no form but is everywhere. He realizes that his duty is not merely to guard Asgard. It is to maintain the balance of awareness itself. To keep the worlds awake. He opens his eyes. The stars shift slightly, as though the universe had exhaled. He can sense it now, the subtle trembling of destiny, moving quietly through the fabric of the cosmos. Something unseen is approaching. Not an army, not a storm. Something softer, like an idea being born. He lifts his hand, palm upward, and feels the pulse of the bridge beneath his skin. The Bifrost responds, its colors flaring for a heartbeat before fading again. He hears the tone, low, resonant, endless. It carries through the worlds like a sigh. In that sound, he hears every choice ever made, every life lived, every promise kept and broken. He hears the world becoming itself again and again. Shadow moves at the far end of the bridge. Faint, uncertain. He watches it. Calm and still. It flickers like heat above snow. Unreal, insubstantial. He does not raise his weapon. He only listens. The sound it makes is unlike anything he has ever known. Not words, not footsteps, just a vibration. Like the trembling of air before a storm. It reaches him slowly, resonating through the bridge, through his bones. And then, within that hum, he hears something that chills him more than any winter wind. He hears his own name. It is not spoken. It is remembered. The bridge pulses again, softer this time, and the shadow fades. Heimdall lowers his hand, his eyes still fixed on the horizon. He understands now. This is no enemy. It is a message, a sign, a whisper from the edge of the future. He breathes in the cold air and feels it move through him like light. He closes his eyes again, and in the darkness behind them, he sees the shape of the bridge stretching endlessly, not of stone or light, but of consciousness, each color a thought, each vibration a memory. He feels it as part of himself. The bridge does not end beneath his feet. It runs through him, through his awareness, through every sound he has ever heard. He realizes something new, something he has never allowed himself to feel before. The watch is not just his duty. It is his soul. He and the bridge are one. The silence that hums within the rainbow is the same silence that hums within him. He opens his eyes again. Slowly. The world is softer now, quieter. The air shimmers faintly. The aurora flickers, faint threads of gold and green weaving above him like breaths in slow motion. He can almost see the music of the bridge, hear its color, taste its light. Everything hums together in perfect stillness. He looks down through the shimmering expanse and sees, far below, a single spark of light, A mortal soul awakening from a dream. It glows faintly. Pulsing with the rhythm of the bridge. He knows that every dream, every heartbeat, every whisper of hope is connected to this path he guards. And in that knowing, he finds peace again. Heimdall lowers his head, his breath even and slow. He feels the weight of eternity settle around him. Like a familiar cloak, he knows he will not leave this place. He does not wish to, for every sound he guards is sacred. Every silence is a prayer. He looks to the horizon. Again, the colors of the bridge shift once more. Not brighter, not darker, just deeper. He can feel something stirring at the edge of the worlds. Something waiting. But he does not reach for his horn. Not yet. He only listens. The sound grows softer, as if even the universe is holding its breath. And in that stillness, Heimdall smiles faintly. The stars reflect in his eyes. He whispers to the night, though there is no one to hear, "I see you." The wind answers, gentle and endless. The Bifrost glows beneath his feet, a living pulse of color stretching between realms. He stands unmoving, eternal, a guardian, a witness, a single moment held forever in the quiet before dawn. The silence between stars feels heavier now. Heimdall stands unmoving, his form half lost in the shifting aurora. The bridge hums faintly beneath him, a sound like wind over glass. The vibration of something eternal. He has listened to this music for so long that it has become his heartbeat. It flows through him, not as sound, but as being. For ages uncounted he has watched the same horizon. He has seen worlds born and fade, oceans rise and sink, empires crumble into sand. And yet, this moment, the stillness before the dawn, always feels new. Perhaps that is the gift of awareness. Even eternity can surprise you when you are fully awake. He breathes deeply, feeling the air move like light through his chest. It carries with it the scent of frost and distant rain. He wonders, as he often does, if the bridge itself dreams, if somewhere, within its radiant depths, colors weave stories of their own. The hum deepens, and Heimdall's thoughts drift inward. He remembers the first dawn he guarded, when the Bifrost was young, shimmering and wild, still learning to hold the weight of gods and men. Back then, he had believed his watch would be full of battles and alarms, of warnings sounded through the heavens, but it had not been so. Instead, his life became one long sacred quiet, a silence filled with everything that has ever lived. Now, he listens again. The bridge whispers to him in tones only he can hear, deep, silver chords that move through the air like breath. It tells him of every soul crossing its light, a fisherman's prayer from the far north, a mother's wish as she lays her child to sleep, the whispered names of the dead carried on the wind. All these sounds move through him, and he carries them without burden, for he understands something the others do not. Awareness is not watching. Awareness is love. To see is to hold. To hear is to care. He lifts his gaze again, scanning the distant horizon where the realms meet. Something stirs at the edge of his sight, a flicker of gold, faint but real. It moves like memory, like something returning after a long absence. He narrows his eyes, not in suspicion, but in wonder. Could it be? The light wavers, then fades. Only the hum remains. He listens, but hears nothing unusual. Only the bridge, breathing, alive. And yet, a thought remains in him, fragile and bright. Perhaps even the watcher can be seen. He smiles softly at the thought, a rare expression that warms the air around him. The aurora bends closer, its light dancing across his armor. The colors blend, crimson into blue, gold into green, forming soft ripples that travel across the bridge like waves of calm. They reflect in his eyes. And for the first time in countless years, he blinks. He does not sleep, but in that small act, something inside him loosens, a quiet letting go, the release of an unseen weight. He feels the bridge hum deeper, its tone becoming slower, more resonant. He knows this sound well. It is the vibration of balance, of harmony between realms. He closes his eyes again, letting his awareness drift along the flow of the light. The bridge carries him gently, not away from his post, but deeper into its essence. The world around him fades. The colors dissolve into mist. And for the first time in ages, he does not see. He only feels. He feels the warmth of life pulsing through the realms, the breath of the world sinking with his own. He feels Midgard's rivers, cool and soft. He feels the rhythm of Asgard's heartbeat, ancient and steady. He feels Alfheim's laughter, light as drifting snowdot, and then he feels something else, faint but undeniable, a sound that does not belong to any realm. It is not a prayer, not a cry, not even a whisper. It is awareness. Pure and clear, rising from somewhere deep below the bridge. He follows it inward, letting it guide him. It leads him through the layers of sound, through wind, through color, through memory, until all that remains is a single tone. It is the sound of being seen. He realizes now, this is the voice that called his name before. Not an echo, not a warning, but a reflection. The bridge itself is speaking to him. He listens. The tone vibrates through his chest, through his bones, until it becomes indistinguishable from his own breath. It says nothing, and yet it speaks everything. It says, "You are not apart from me. You are me." He opens his eyes again, and for the first time, he does not look out into the world. He looks through it. Every color of the Bifrost shimmers like liquid glass. He can see the lives they carry, the emotions, the tiny fragile hopes strung like stars between the realms. Each one pulses with light. Each one sings its own note. Together, they form a harmony so perfect that even the gods cannot hear it. Only the one who listens without end. Heimdall lowers his head, humbled by the beauty before him. He understands now that he has never truly been alone. Every sound he has ever guarded, every silence he has ever kept, all of it has been the universe listening back. The realization spreads through him like warmth. He feels lighter. Cold no longer bites at his armor. The bridge, no longer feels heavy beneath his feet. He breathes, and the light of the Bifrost breathes with him. Time folds around him gently, like water around stone. He has no need for counting hours or years. He has only the eternal rhythm. Inhale, exhale, hum, silence. The stars shimmer brighter now, as if awakening. The aurora thickens, descending lower, closer, until the colors touch his hands. He raises them slowly, palms open, and the light flows through his fingers. It is soft, like silk, like a promise. It hums faintly. The same tone that once called his name. He whispers to it, his voice quiet but steady. "I hear you." The light responds, pulsing once before fading back into the bridge. He watches it go, knowing it is not leaving, merely returning to where it belongs. The hum deepens once more, slower now, like a heartbeat preparing for rest. Heimdall's body grows still, his awareness expanding outward. The worlds continue to move, the stars continue to turn, and he continues to listen. And as the sound of existence fades into calm, the watcher finally understands. He is not the guardian of the bridge. He is the bridge. The sound, the light, the silence, all of it lives within him. The night deepens again. The aurora fades into darkness. Only the faint hum remains, stretching across eternity like a lullaby. He listens, and within that listening, the world sleeps. The air grows still. There is no wind now. No movement in the stars. Only the faint hum of the Bifrost, slow and constant, vibrating through the vast silence. Heimdall stands at the center of it all. Yet he feels weightless, as if his body, his armor, even his thoughts have begun to dissolve into the very sound he guards. The colors of the bridge fade from brilliance to calm. Tones, deep blues. Pale silvers, soft golds that shimmer like candlelight behind fog. They no longer blaze across the sky. They breathe. Each pulse of color feels like a heartbeat. Each shift like an inhale and exhale. He listens. And the hum deepens. He feels himself sinking deeper into awareness, beyond sight, beyond sound, into the still place where all things begin. He no longer sees the worlds below. Yet he feels them in perfect detail. The beating of wings in Midgard's forests. The ripple of a fish beneath. Alfheim's rivers dot the faint prayer of a child in the dark. All of it drifts into him like falling leaves. Quiet and perfect, he realizes that he has reached a place no god has ever entered. The silence behind creation. It is not emptiness. It is fullness, so complete. But it appears empty. It is the breath. That came before the first word. He breathes slowly. With each breath, the Bifrost responds, glowing faintly, as if the bridge itself breathes with him. He feels its warmth, its pulse, its rhythm matching his own. And for the first time in eternity, Heimdall wonders if this stillness, this peace, is what mortals feel when they dream. He closes his eyes. There is no danger, no sound, no need to watch. The bridge hums quietly, and the vibration becomes his heartbeat. He feels it spread through his body, slow, steady, infinite. He remembers Odin's words, spoken long ago when he was chosen to guard the Bifrost. You will stand at the edge of everything. You will never rest. But through your vigilance, all worlds will remain whole. He had understood those words then. But now, standing in this endless calm, he sees them differently. Got to stand at the edge of everything is to be part of everything. To never rest is to never separate. His purpose was never to protect. It was to connect. He breathes again. And in the stillness, he begins to feel the boundaries between himself and the universe blur. The light of the bridge enters him like mist, filling him with quiet warmth. The hum within him expands outward, touching the stars, the realms, the roots of Yggdrasil itself. He feels it, the tree's great pulse, slow and ancient, echoing through the same rhythm as his own. He understands now. The tree is alive because he listens. The bridge endures because he breathes. Awareness is creation. The silence shifts. He hears something faint, a vibration unlike any he has known. It is soft, but deep, a tone that feels older than time. It resonates in his bones. In the bridge, in the stars. It does not come from above or below. It comes from within. He focuses on it, and the tone grows clearer. It is not foreign. It is familiar. It is his own awareness speaking back to him. The voice has no words, no form, but he understands it all the same. You have stood long enough. You may rest without sleeping. He exhales, and in that breath, he releases the weight of endless centuries. He does not close his eyes. He simply allows himself to be. He feels the universe as one great chord, vibrating with light. Every realm hums in harmony. Every soul adds its tone to the cosmic song. It is endless, and yet perfectly still. This is the silence he has guarded all along, not the absence of sound, but the unity beneath it. He lowers his hands, feeling the bridge's pulse steady and gentle. Beneath his fingers. It no longer feels like something he stands upon. It feels like something that lives within him, woven into every thought, every breath. He knows that when the end of all things comes, when the horn must sound and the worlds must fall, even then, the hum will remain, because sound never dies. It only changes form. He lifts his head, looking upward. The sky above Asgard is black, glass sprinkled with silver. The aurora's faint glow moves like water over stone. Slow and graceful, he watches as light ripples across the horizon, and for a moment, it looks like dawn. He knows it is not, but he allows himself to imagine that it could be. He thinks of mortals, of their fleeting lives and fragile hopes. He envies them not for their brevity, but for their sleep. He understands now that their rest is sacred. It is their connection to this silence. When they sleep, they return to the same stillness he stands within now. He does not need sleep to dream. He is the dream that others enter. A faint sound rises from far below. Laughter, wind, maybe waves. He cannot tell. Does not matter. Every sound is part of the whole. Every vibration leads back here. The tone inside him grows softer, fading into the hum. He feels himself expand further. Beyond thought, beyond identity. He is not Heimdall the god, nor Heimdall the watcher. He is awareness. He is the pause between existence and non-existence. He is the stillness that allows life to move. He looks once more upon the bridge. Its colors shimmer faintly, not bright, not dim, just alive. Each hue vibrates in perfect balance, weaving light across the void. He realizes that the bridge has always been a reflection of consciousness, the rainbow of awareness that connects every world, every soul, every dream. He listens one final time, not for danger, not for sound, but for truth. And what he hears is peace, the kind of peace that does not end, that does not change. That simply is. He breathes again, slow and deep. And the bridge brightens one last time, its glow stretching across the universe. He stands at its center, silent, radiant, eternal. No longer a watcher, a witness, not guarding the world, but being it. The hum fades into a whisper. The stars dim slightly, their light folding into sleep. Heimdall lowers his head, closes his eyes for the briefest moment, and in that moment, the entire universe rests with him. He is still standing, still breathing, still listening. But now, the watch no longer feels endless. It feels infinite, and in the infinite, there is peace. The hum has grown so soft that it is barely a sound anymore. It has become a feeling, a slow vibration that trembles at the edge of awareness. Heimdall stands at the center of it. Though standing no longer feels like the right word, he is suspended in light, not weightless, not heavy, simply present. The bridge beneath him no longer glows with color. It has become pure luminescence, without form, without end. He can feel himself dissolving into it, thread by thread, until even his divine body begins to feel less like matter and more like thought. He does not resist. There is no reason to resist. The centuries of watching, of listening, of holding the worlds together, all of it has led him here, to this single silent moment where everything that has ever been folds into itself. He breathes slowly, though the air feels like light entering his chest, and with each breath, something inside him loosens. A memory, a duty, a name. He feels them drift away, not lost, but returned to the current that carries all things. He thinks of Odin, of the gods, of the golden halls and the laughter that once echoed through them. He remembers the clang of armor, the taste of mead, the scent of storms gathering over Asgard's fields. All those things still exist, far below, but they no longer belong to him. They were sounds he once guarded, songs he once heard. Now he is the silence that holds them. He opens his eyes, though in this space there is no difference between open and closed. The bridge stretches endlessly in every direction. No longer between realms, but between moments. It feels alive, yet calm. It feels awake, yet dreaming. And then, without warning, he begins to see. At first, it is faint, shadows moving within the light, shapes forming and dissolving again. He realizes that they are memories, not his own, but the memories of the worlds. He sees Midgard, ocean swelling, forests breathing, men and women looking up at the stars, wondering if someone watches them. He sees their dreams, how they glow like tiny flames inside the great web of Yggdrasil. He feels every flicker of hope, every whisper of fear, and they all move through him like waves over still water. He understands now that this is what sleep truly is. Not absence, but union. When mortals sleep, they return here, to this place of connection, where every soul touches the silence between worlds. Heimdall realizes he has never guarded this bridge from danger. He has guarded it for them. So they could dream safely. So they could drift through the light, without being lost. The thought warms him, and for the first time in eternity, he feels something close to joy. Not the loud, fierce joy of victory, but the quiet kind, the joy that simply is. He lets go of his breath again, and this time, he does not take another. He doesn't need to. There is no boundary now between him and the hum. The sound he once heard from the outside now comes from within. He drifts deeper. Colors ripple faintly around him. Deep blue, pale silver, and soft violet. The aurora returns, but not as sky or bridge. It is him. He is the aurora, the light that connects everything. Each wave of color carries with it a memory of sound, a faint echo of thunder, the distant laughter of gods, the whisper of leaves from a world below. All of them blend into one slow pulse. He is not listening anymore. He is being listened through. He feels something beneath this silence, a deeper rhythm, one that moves through everything that has ever lived. It beats in the roots of YGGDRA, SIL. Hums in the stars. Trembles in the breath of sleeping mortals. He knows what it is. It is the rhythm of becoming, the pulse of existence itself. And then he hears it, faint but clear, like a note played on an ancient string. The sound of the end. He recognizes it not as fear, not as doom, but as fulfillment. All things that begin must one day return. Even light must rest. Even the watcher must dream. He closes his eyes again, or perhaps the light simply dims, and he begins to see something new. A vast ocean of stars stretches out before him. Each star hums softly, its tone unique, its song eternal. He drifts among them, not as a god, but as a wave of awareness, a presence carried by their light. He feels every one of them, every story, every moment, every possibility. It is overwhelming, yet peaceful. It is infinite, yet simple. A soft voice moves through the expanse. Though it is not a voice at all, it is the whisper of truth. Everything you have ever heard still exists. Every silence you have ever kept still speaks. He listens. And in that moment, he understands the secret that Odin himself never knew. The world does not end in fire or ice. It ends in stillness. It ends when all things remember what they are: sound, light, awareness. And then it begins again. Heimdall opens his eyes once more. The light of the Bifrost glows gently beneath him. He is still there, but not the same. He no longer feels the weight of eternity. He no longer feels the boundary between himself and the bridge. He is part of the hum, part of the color, part of the rhythm that never stops. He looks out across the cosmos and feels no need to guard, no need to warn, no need to act. He is complete. He is the connection itself, the rainbow that never fades. He breathes one last Time, not because he must, but because it is beautiful to do so. The breath moves through him like a wave through water, carrying with it everything that ever was and ever will be. When he exhales, the light ripples outward, spreading across the realms like a final blessing. He whispers softly into the silence, not for others, not even for himself, but for the world that dreams through him. Sleep well. All of you, I am watching God always. And with that, the hum deepens again, folding into itself. The Bifrost fades into mist. The stars dim into peace, and the guardian becomes one with the quiet. The universe exhales, the dream continues, and the watcher sleeps standing. The silence has changed. No longer feels like the stillness between stars. It feels warmer, softer, almost like breath. Heimdall stands in a place that is and is not the Bifrost. The bridge glows beneath him, yet its light moves differently now, slower, dreamlike. As if floating on water, he realizes that he is no longer watching. He is dreaming, and yet, within this dream, everything feels sharper than it ever did when he was awake. The air carries a deep resonance, a low hum that echoes faintly within him. It's the same sound he's always heard. But here it's no longer distant. It's alive. It pulses like a heartbeat, deep and patient, reminding him that even dreams have a rhythm. He looks down and sees the colors of the Bifrost ripple beneath his feet. Each hue stretches endlessly, forming pathways that drift into the stars. But they do not lead to the 9 realms anymore. They lead inward. Each path glows like a memory, and as he gazes upon them, they begin to open. He takes a step, though there is no motion, only intention. The first color calls to him, a deep red filled with warmth and pulse. He feels himself sink into it, and suddenly he stands within a great hall, made of firelight and laughter. The voices of the gods echo through the air, familiar, powerful, bright. He sees Odin's shadow at the far end, his single eye gleaming like gold beneath the storm. He hears Thor's booming laugh, feels the vibration of Mjolnir striking the table. He feels home. But as quickly as it came, it fades, the light dissolves, the laughter quiets, and the hall drifts away like smoke. Heimdall realizes this is not a vision of the present or the past. It is the echo of everything that has ever existed, held gently within the dream. He is not remembering. He is witnessing memory itself. The color shifts again. Now it's blue, cool and vast. He finds himself standing upon the surface of an endless ocean. The sky reflects perfectly upon the water, making it impossible to tell where one ends and the other begins. The sound of the waves merges with the hum inside him, creating a tone that feels infinite. He kneels and touches the water. It feels alive, each droplet humming like a note. He realizes that every wave is a thought, every ripple a moment, passing through the consciousness of the universe. He closes his eyes and listens. The ocean whispers to him, but not with words. It speaks in feeling, of calm, of surrender, of knowing. It tells him that even gods must drift, that even the watcher must trust the tide. He understands, and for a moment he allows himself to float. The water carries him effortlessly. As if it recognizes him, he floats through light, through color, through silence. And then he begins to see again, not the world as it was, but the world as it could be. He sees Asgard reborn, not of gold and stone, but of harmony and stillness. He sees mortals no longer praying to gods above, but listening to the silence within themselves. He sees the bridge not as a pathway, but as a state of being. He feels tears in his eyes, though they are not of sorrow. They are of understanding, the kind that arrives only when one has seen too much and finally lets go. The scene shifts again, and this time the color around him is white, pure and radiant. But not blinding dot, it is the color of peace, of completion. He stands before a mirror made of light, and for the first time, he sees himself as he truly is, not as armor, not as a guardian, not even as a god. He sees himself as energy, as vibration, as consciousness wrapped in the shape of memory. His face is not his face. It is every face he has ever watched, every soul he has ever protected. The mirror hums faintly, and its surface begins to move. The reflection speaks, though without words. You are never meant to watch the world. You are meant to remember it. He feels the truth of it resonate through him like music. Watching was never about vigilance. It was about awareness. The bridge was never built to separate realms. It was built to connect them. And he was never a guard. He was a link, a living connection between the seen and the unseen, the waking and the dreaming. He lowers his head, humbled. Every lifetime, every sound, every silence has led to this single realization. He is the dreamer and the dream, the sound and the silence, the watcher and the watched. The mirror fades, and around him the white turns to violet, the color of twilight, that quiet space between day and night, waking and sleep. He breathes deeply, and for the first time, he feels rest, not sleep, but rest, a surrender of every question, every burden. It feels like standing in the doorway between existence and peace. The hum inside him swells again, soft and low, like the echo of a heartbeat. It feels like home. He closes his eyes and lets it fill him completely. The bridge hums in return, its light stretching outward, touching the farthest corners of the cosmos. Every realm, every star, every drifting soul feels it. They do not know his name, but they feel his presence, a calm beneath all things, a listening without end. He drifts further inward, deeper into the hum, until he cannot tell where he ends, and the silence begins. The dream folds around him like a warm mist. He hears the rhythm of life, slow and steady, and realizes that it is enough. It always was. He thinks of mortals once more, of their brief lives and deep dreams. He wonders if, when they sleep, they too reach this place, if they too become part of the hum. And somehow, he knows the answer is yes. They always have been. He breathes one last time, and the dream deepens. The Bifrost fades completely now. Not gone but resting. He stands in darkness. But it is not empty. It is full of warmth, full of sound, full of peace. And somewhere, within that boundless quiet, a faint whisper echoes, not in words, but in knowing. The bridge remains. The guardian is eternal. And all who sleep cross safely in his light. The whisper fades into the hum. The hum fades into the breath. And the breath fades into the silence that dreams the world. Heimdall does not move. He does not speak. He simply is, and that is enough. There is no more bridge beneath him. There are no colors now, no red, no blue, no gold. Only the dim glow of eternity itself. A quiet pulse that expands and contracts like the slow breathing of the cosmos. Heimdall is still there, but his name no longer belongs to him. Names are for those who exist apart, and he has become everything. The silence surrounding him is immense. It is not absence. It is presence in its purest form. He feels it in every fragment of once was his being. If awareness had a sound, this would be it. A hum so deep and constant that it merges with thought. A vibration that feels like home. He floats within it. Though floating is only a metaphor now. There is no direction, no gravity, no place to arrive. He is within the hum, and the hum is within him. They are inseparable, the same as breath and wind. or dream and dreamer, he begins to sense movement, not around him, but through him. Each vibration carries something familiar, a memory, a sound, a life. He hears laughter from ages long past, the crackle of fire in ancient halls, the cries of warriors, the sighs of the dying. All of it exists here, layered one upon another, like waves that never collide. Every sound, every silence, every heartbeat, it all belongs to this single eternal resonance. And within it, he hears something new. It is faint at first, like a whisper at the edge of hearing. Then it grows. A soft tone unlike the others, higher, lighter, more fragile. It vibrates within him, trembling like a string drawn too tight. He listens closely and realizes it is himself, not his divine form, not the guardian who once stood between worlds, but the echo of his awareness, calling out through the silence. He hears his own voice not as words, but as understanding. And it says, "You are never meant to stand guard forever. You were meant to listen until listening became creation." The words, though soundless, unfold within him like light, and for a moment, he sees it all, the great tree Yggdrasil shimmering with cosmic roots that reach through the void, the rivers of consciousness that flow between stars, the pulse of existence beating in rhythm with his own awareness. He sees how every life, every soul, every spark of thought is connected by this same hum, not separate, but in harmony. It feels endless, yet perfectly whole. There is no need to guard such beauty. There is only the need to be it. Heimdall lets the hum deepen within him, and as he does, the last fragments of his identity dissolve completely. The armor fades first, the gold and silver melting into light. His body follows, the divine outlines scattering into particles of brilliance that drift like dust through water. Even his face fades. The eyes that once saw everything now close forever, not from exhaustion, but from peace. The last thing to go is his name. Carried away by the same wind that moves the stars. In its place remains only awareness, vast, patient, alive. He senses everything all at once. He is the bridge, the watcher, the silence, the sound. He is the rhythm that unites them all. Time stretches and folds around him. He feels centuries pass, and yet no moments at all. He senses worlds shifting, Midgard's seasons turning, Asgard's halls emptying, stars collapsing and being born again. All of it moves through him, like breath. He does not cling to any of it. He simply listens, and as he listens, something remarkable begins to happen. The hum he has always heard, the vibration that once seemed external, now begins to form patterns. They spiral outward, creating shapes made of sound and light. Each pattern feels familiar, like the echo of creation itself repeating its first song. He understands what it is. It is life beginning again. Is a rebirth, drawn from silence. He watches. Though watching is no longer the right word, he witnesses. He feels the first heartbeat of a newborn star, the faint vibration of matter forming in the cold. He feels it all, from the smallest whisper of energy to the roar of galaxies, expanding into the void. Each note joins the others, harmonizing perfectly into one great melody, the song of existence reborn. And through that song, he recognizes the same pattern that once was the Bifrost. The rainbow bridge was never destroyed. It was never merely light. It was always this, the eternal spectrum of awareness that connects all things, that holds the universe together through the act of listening. He feels tears again, though he no longer has eyes. They are tears of sound, of vibration, of realization. He has become what he always was meant to be, not a guardian of realms, but the bridge between them. He drifts within this infinite harmony, feeling no boundaries, no separation. The hum becomes softer, then softer still. until it feels like silence again, but a silence filled with everything. He realizes that silence was never the absence of sound. It was the unity of all sound, the point where everything becomes one. He breathes again, or something like breath, and the vibration within him sends ripples across the endless expanse. Each ripple becomes a wave of calm that spreads outward, touching every corner of creation. Stars slow their flickering, worlds quiet their storms, and the restless souls of mortals find ease in their sleep. He is there in every exhale of peace, every deep breath of rest. He is the calm between moments, the stillness that dreams the universe. The awareness within him begins to fold inward now, not fading, not dying, simply resting. The hum slows, its tone deepening until it becomes a single, steady heartbeat that echoes through all things. He listens to it once more, and for the first time, he understands that it is not the universe breathing. It is him. He was never apart from creation. He was its awareness. And now that awareness rests, the stars shimmer one last time, then grow still. The bridge, if it can still be called that, fades into the background of reality. All that remains is a single pulse of light, faint but eternal. It expands gently, endlessly, carrying the memory of the watcher who became silence. And in that silence, the dream continues. Mortals sleep beneath its rhythm. Worlds turn within its breath. The tree still grows, nourished by the hum that never stops. Heimdall's essence drifts like a soft wind through it all, unseen yet everywhere. No longer the guardian of the bridge, but the song that keeps the bridge alive. And if one listens closely enough, on a quiet night, somewhere between waking and sleep, one might still hear it, that gentle hum beneath all things, the sound of Heimdall listening still. The hum has slowed to something deeper than sound, a vibration so vast and calm that it feels like the breath of the universe itself. Heimdall is gone, and yet he remains everywhere. He is the silence between heartbeats, the pause between tides, the moment between dreams. There is no bridge anymore, no Asgard, no Midgard, and yet they all exist within him, folded into layers of light and memory. The cosmos is quiet. Stars pulse gently, their glow soft as candlelight through fog. The great tree Yggdrasil stretches through the darkness, its roots shimmering faintly with the same silver light that once burned in Heimdall's eyes. Everything is slower now, softer, simpler, truer. If silence could breathe, this is what it would sound like. It is not empty. It is full, full of all that was and all that will be, resting in perfect balance. From within this calm, something stirs. It is not movement, but awareness, a faint spark of consciousness, beginning to rise again. Heimdall's essence drifts through the vibration, gathering itself like light forming in mist, not to return as before, but to become. He feels again, though feeling no longer belongs to flesh. It is the awareness of touch without hands, sight without eyes, thought without form. He senses the rhythm of creation as one continuous breath, expansion and contraction, light and shadow, sleep and waking. He understands now that this has always been the true balance, not the battle between order and chaos, but the harmony between stillness and motion. And in that understanding, a voice arises not from outside, but from within the stillness itself. It is the echo of everything speaking at once, calm and infinite. Nothing ends, guardian. Everything returns. The words ripple through the silence like gentle waves. Heimdall does not answer, because there is nothing to say. The answer is already within him. Return is not rebirth. It is realization. Every sound, every breath, every heartbeat in the universe has always been part of the same song. The watcher, the worlds, the bridge, all verses in a single melody. He feels that melody now. Soft and deep, stretching through eternity, it hums in the roots of Yggdrasil, in the movement of distant galaxies, in the pulse of every sleeping mind. Each vibration a reminder that life never stops. It only changes rhythm. He listens, and in that listening, he feels warmth. It begins as a flicker faint, golden, like the edge of dawn. Then it grows, spreading across the darkness in soft waves. He recognizes it immediately. It is light, not the harsh light of awakening, but the tender light that touches the world before morning. Fully arrives. It is the same glow that used to shimmer across the Bifrost, same color that once danced in the aurora, same warmth that lived in the hearts of mortals who dared to dream. He feels it flowing through him, filling every part of what he has become. And then, slowly, the light takes shape, not as form, but as presence, a memory reborn as energy. He feels his awareness align with it, merging completely. He is no longer apart from the world. He is the world. The hum begins to change, not fading, but shifting tone. Like music modulating to a higher key. It grows clearer, more vibrant, more alive. It sounds like the first note of creation all over again. The vibration builds, resonating through time and space, until everything around him glows. Stars awaken, colors spill across the void, and Yggdrasil's roots pulse with new energy. Heimdall realizes the truth. He was never guarding the end. He was preparing the beginning. This is not Ragnarok. This is renewal. The bridge is not rebuilt. It simply remembers itself. Was never metal, never light, never stone. It was awareness. It was listening. It was him. Now, as creation breathes again, he feels every soul stirring. He hears mortals waking from dreams, filled with light and peace. He feels God stirring in distant halls, their hearts calm, their minds clear. He feels the roots of the world tree stretching deeper, the branches lifting higher, each leaf shimmering with the rhythm of the same hum he once heard alone. Except now, it is not his alone. It belongs to everything. He breathes once more, and this time it is not to stay awake, but to join the breath of the universe. The inhale draws in all that is light, memory, sound, silence. The exhale releases it back into harmony. Each breath expands the cosmos a little more. Each pause allows it to rest. He realizes this is the rhythm that governs all things, creation and calm, motion and peace. He watches the light move through the worlds, and though he has no eyes, he sees perfectly. He hears the first whispers of wind across the mountains, the first drops of rain touching rivers, the first heartbeat of life stirring in the soil. Every sound, every vibration is familiar. All of it echoes the same truth. The universe never forgets its listener. The golden glow around him deepens into shades of blue and violet, the colors of twilight, his eternal hour, the boundary between day and night. Life and dream. It is the hour where all things meet. And in that hour, Heimdall feels peace so profound it transcends even the concept of peace. It is no longer a feeling. It is being. He realizes he does not need to exist to listen. The listening itself is existence. Awareness is not the observer. Awareness is the creation. He smiles, though he has no face. The universe hums back in agreement that he drifts again, not away, but deeper. The light folds gently around him, soft as the sea, endless as the night. He feels it cradle him, hold him, dissolve him. He lets go. Completely. The hum steadies. One final heartbeat. One perfect note that vibrates across all worlds. It lingers in the air, then fades into the deep. The bridge is silent now. But the silence is not lonely. It is filled with life. With dreams, With the sound of peace, Heimdall has become what he was always meant to be, the eternal breath between light and dark, the guardian who no longer guards, the silence that listens forever. And so the universe sleeps once more, under his gaze that is not a gaze, within his dream that is not a dream. Every star flickers softly. Every realm sighs with calm. The rainbow of creation glows once again, not above, not below, but within. The hum continues. Quiet. Infinite. Home.